Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another speed build. I hope you're doing well today. So we are back with the Newcrest series. This build took me so long to finish, guys. So long to finish. And I finally finished it, I think maybe 2 weeks ago. Finally finished it, and then when it came to editing, it was so long to edit as well because it was taking such a long time, so there was so much to edit out. But yeah, I think I did okay. So this was actually meant to be up on Tuesday. That's why I got so confused as to like what builds I started with a keyboard and mouse and like I mean, I'm generally confused anyway, what's new, but I was confused because for some reason I didn't see this on my list. Like, it was on my list, but for some reason I was like, I know I'm missing a build, and it was on my list, but for some reason I just couldn't see it for some reason. But anyway, this is part of the Newcrest series. So if you didn't know, I am adding a bunch of lots to Newcrest. I'm not restricting packs, so these aren't base game only builds. I am tempted to do some builds that are base game only for Newcrest just because it's an empty world, and if you want to fill up the lots with some pack restricted builds or just base game builds. So I'm thinking all the residential homes are all base game, and then maybe like community lots can be like a pack and base game. Like for example, if it's a restaurant, it will just be base game and dine out kind of thing. But anyway, that is besides the point. But yeah, I don't know if I should take on that project as well. I just think I do base game builds now and again anyway, so you can obviously put them in any world you want. And what I like to do with Newcrest is like decide on what I want the theme to be and then continue that theme throughout the world basically. So if I'm going for this series, I'm going for like a Craftsman style. So I'm kind of struggling to think of what community lots would look like with Craftsman style residential homes in the same kind of area. But I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go for a bit more of a rustic look for the community lot, so not like brand new modern skyscraper kind of buildings. I'm going to go for a bit more like rustic, a bit more like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm thinking rustic for the community lots. I'm kind of scared to start the community lots. I like building homes. Community lots scare me, but I'm going to give it a good old try. But yeah, like I said, this is part of my Newcrest series, so I am filling up the lots in Newcrest. This is Ridgeline Drive complete. So this is one of the neighborhoods in Oasis Springs, Newcrest complete. So we have 2 other neighborhoods to get through in this like little series. So I think I mentioned it before, but I'll go over it again. So Bridgeview, I'm gonna do as like starter homes and slightly up of like starter homes because I think that makes sense for that kind of area. And I might put something on the large lot, maybe like a community space on the large lot, maybe a park, I'm not sure yet, because they're all like 20 by 15, well 2 20 by 15s and 2 30 by 20s I believe, and then one is like 40 by 30. So I'm thinking to do that. And then we have Llama Lagoon, which I'm gonna do as like strictly just a what do you call it, like community spaces. So bars, a restaurant, maybe a nightclub or a cafe, something like that. So that's what I'm planning to do with the other neighborhoods. But yeah, this is the last lot on the Ridgeline Drive. Why can't I say that word? It is the Optimist Outlook lot, if you wanted to know, and it is a 40 by 30 lot. This is a very pricey home because it's a big build, and that's why it took me so long, because there's quite a lot of rooms and there's a lot of things I added into this house, and I just spent a lot of time doing it basically. So what it turned out to be is a 5-bed and a 4 bathroom house. And yeah, it just took me a while to furnish or get through all. And I think it was just because I was really indecisive, and I also felt like I'm just reusing so many items that I've used in other builds. Like, it was quite hard to like try and switch things up. So I tried to do things slightly different with this build. I don't think it turned out super different to my other builds, but just slightly different, just slightly. And I have a habit of doing like small bathrooms and things like that. So the bathrooms look like all my other bathrooms. They're all like small and kind of like cozy kind of bathrooms. But with the Newcrest series, I do make up a household to live in the homes as well, in a storyline for the build. So for this build, I have 3 generations living in this house. I could be getting it wrong, and I probably am getting it wrong. So I wanted it to be like grandparents, and then they have their adult, I think it's a young adult daughter who's living with her husband, and they have 2 children, and then the sister's brother is also with them as well. So the storyline is the mom and the dad, the elder, well, I didn't make them elders, I made them adults, and maybe they had their child at a young age, and well, their children at a young age, because they've got 2 children, their daughter and their son. And what I imagined is that the dad is a detective, and he's very high up in the ranks. So he's maybe like a chief. Is it the chief? Is that what they called it? I can't remember if that's the name of the career when you go into the detective career. I can't remember if the highest rank is the chief. I could be wrong, but we'll say he's in the highest rank in the detective career, okay? And maybe the mother was a writer, and now she's kind of just like working on a bunch of, can't remember what books, like genre books I had in mind for her, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe mystery, and like it kind of plays into maybe the interest that she had in her partner. So maybe they met because they have that common interest that he's a detective and she likes to write mystery books. That's a cute concept, so I think that's what I'll go with. I knew I wanted her to be a writer. I just wasn't sure what her genre was, but I like the idea of doing mystery books. So she writes mystery books, and that's how she met her husband. They got married at a young age, they had their daughter and they had their son, and then their daughter now is, I can't remember what career I put her in, or if I put her in a career, if I made her a like stay-at-home mom. I can't remember what I did with her, but we have the daughter, and she has 2 children. She has a teen and she has a toddler. So she's only just had a second child, but I think it's a cute little dynamic to have a teen and a toddler. Maybe there's a big age gap because maybe she wanted to like work on other things and then decided later on we'll have some more children. I don't know if they want more children after the 2 that they have, or if they're okay with the 2 that they have. I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of cute that she has 1 sibling and then she's had 2 children herself. It's cute. But anyway, so she's living here with her mom and dad, and also her husband and her 2 children and her brother. And oh, I forgot to mention her husband. So the connection between the families is a young adult basically met her husband through the dad, because her husband is also in the detective career. So her dad and her husband are both in the same career basically, and that's how she met him. Maybe there was like a work event and she came down to support her dad. Maybe he won like an award or something. I don't know what happens when you're like in real life. Do you win awards maybe as a chief or something? I don't know, but that's what she was there for, okay? She went to support her dad, and that's how she met her future husband. So now they're married, they've got their 2 children, they're living their lives in this home. I would imagine that this is a home that maybe the grandparents bought, and then they wanted to make sure that their children were looked after. So they was like, look, we've bought this home, we're living here, you come and live here with us as well. Or it could have been the opposite way around. Like maybe the grandparents wanted to like maybe start the process of retiring, or getting to a point where they want to retire. They definitely have money, so I think they could retire early essentially, and the mum could also just continue writing her books from home, and I think that's what she kind of preferred to do anyway. So anyway, I thought it might be the idea that the new couple with their 2 children, maybe they only had the 1 at the time, bought this home and then moved in there, like the in-laws, grandparents, because they wanted them to be close. They wanted, like, they are, I feel like they would be a close-knit family anyway. They wanted them to be close, and I thought also that the brother might be like, I don't know if it's like free spirit is the word, but I think he would want to go out and venture out on his own. So maybe from a young age he left home early, maybe he went to uni, or maybe he just left home early to like travel, do whatever he wanted to do. And he's a bit of a creative, so he really likes songwriting and music, so he went out to pursue that. But a few, years go down, and he's caught in a bit of a situation where he doesn't really have the money to support his like creative passions anymore, and he can't really afford where he's living. Maybe he's on like San Myshuno, he did a bit of busking and he tried to like really elevate his career, but it just wasn't happening. Like no one really saw his talents or whatever, or gave him like that break that he needed. So the sister was like, look, just come and live with us for a little while, figure out what you want to do. There's a spare room here. So I think they had a spare room anyway, just as a guest room, but then he moved in and he's staying with them for a little while. And I think at first they were like, yes, fine, stay with us for a little while, figure out things. But I think the household generally is very career driven, very like work driven, goal driven, and the brother is a bit more like a free spirit, a bit more just chilled out with it. So they're kind of just like, okay, now what's your next move? And he's just like, well, I just thought I'd have time to just, see what happens. He's a bit more laid back, whereas they're like, you can like stay and figure out what you want to do. But like, when is it gonna happen? Like, when are you gonna start doing stuff? So they're kind of just like, are you gonna get a job? What are you gonna do? So maybe the dad's like, look, maybe I can put in a good word and like get you to work in the detective office. Maybe he can just work on like admin or something at the time. But he's just like, nah, that's not really what I'm gonna do. So they're kind of putting a bit of pressure on him to figure out what his next moves are, especially because like they're doing their own things. The grandparents are looking to retire soon. His sister's, you know, living her life in this home and everything like that. I can't remember that's the thing. I can't remember if I gave her a career, which is really annoying me because I don't remember if I did or not. I can't remember. I could have made her an interior decorator. I can't actually remember, but I could be wrong. I don't remember what I did. I'm looking at the Sims now, but it doesn't tell you their career. It just tells you they're like, what do you call it? Like on the gallery, it just shows you their traits and stuff like that, doesn't it? It doesn't show you careers and stuff. So, yeah, apologies for that. Actually, I did write a little description in the post on the gallery. So did I say what they do? No, I did not say what they do. I did not, but that is fine. So I kept the landscaping, I would say like minimal, but then I feel like it's not that minimal at the front of the house. It's kind of like, we got a tree, but then there's also like a bunch of like plants and shrubbery and stuff on the other side of the front of the lot. But I think I just wanted, I don't know, I did things slightly differently where I did map out the kind of terrain paints before I added in the landscaping. But I think it turned out okay. I think it's kind of cute. So it is going to be probably manicured. They probably do have a gardener or someone who comes around. Is it called like a landscaper? I don't know. If someone comes around and only does landscaping as opposed to like actual gardening. But yeah, I definitely imagine that they've got the money to do that, so they will. So I really wanted a greenhouse, and I think I mentioned this in the last build I did for the Newcrest series. I really wanted to make a greenhouse, and this was the house that was like, yep, it's gonna be green, and we're gonna have some of that like sliding or paneling. I think it's under paneling. Actually, I think it's under sliding, but it's this paneling that came with seasons. I love it, but I don't use it enough, so I went with that, and then the green sliding, like the really light kind of like, is it sagey? I don't think it would really be sage green, but that light green is so pretty. I used that on this build, and I had so much fun with the roof, and I had so much fun with the build in general. Like the build shape, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And you would have seen what I did at the back of the house, where we have a bit of a, like we have a bit of a bay window almost, or we have a room that's like on, like got diagonal walls basically. And what I did was I used like a hexagon shaped roof piece, and then I used the triangle piece. I always forget what the roof pieces are called. Did you know like the triangle piece? And I kind of just leveled it up and then pull in all the eaves for the triangle piece, and then when you kind of put it together, you can merge them together, so it kind of just looks like it's one piece, but it's actually two roof pieces, which is very exciting. And also, talking about roofers, I was watching James Turner's video the other day, and he did a roof with he did like a circled, like a rounded roof, and I struggled so much because I wanted to do this Victorian home that I saw on Pinterest, and it has a rounded roof, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that in The Sims. I struggled so much to figure out how to get this rounded roof business to work, and when I saw him do it, I was like, oh, genius. So I'm gonna get started again on that Victorian home with that rounded roof, because I think it just looks so cute. So I'm gonna retry it with what I saw him do, because he used like the rounded roof, and then he used like the flat roof pieces, or like the half triangle pieces. Again, I don't remember what the roof pieces are called, but like the half triangle piece, is it called a half gabled roof? I think so. He used that and like merged it with the circle bit of the roof, and then it kind of just looked like it was all seamless, and there was just like a curve. Oh my gosh, it was just perfect, because I was literally struggling so much to try and build that curved roof. I think maybe last week or the week before, but I figured it out and I'm excited. So I might do like a limited pack, like vampires and base game with Victorian style home. I'll see. I think it should work. I think I'll be okay, because I don't really do any dark aesthetic kind of homes, and if I do, it's kind of like a modern style as opposed to like dark gothic, maybe Victorian-ish kind of style. I don't know a lot about Victorian house styles. Everything just feels a bit fancy, but I could be wrong, and that could be more to it. But yeah, I don't really build much when it comes to like Victorian style homes. But I also really enjoyed the way the garden came out. I was really proud of the way the garden turned out. We've got a nice big pool in the garden. I also did this like half covered area in the garden as well. So like half of it is kind of like covered with like lattice pieces, and then the other side is covered with a glass roof. At first I was going to do another lattice kind of design, but I just changed my mind. I was like, I really like the idea of it being glass, like it actually being fully covered, but you still get the natural light, you still get the feeling of being outside, but you're still covered. And I decided to go with like the glass roof texture instead. I wish it was like more flat, like I wish it wasn't a bit, I just wish it was less raised as it is, but it's not bothering me enough to be like, oh, I'm scrapping it, I'm getting rid of it. And I decided to use those like mosaic tiles. I never used them, and I think they came with Island Living, but I never used the mosaic tiles. But I just felt like it added something a little different to the build and to the exterior, because it was going to look very white with the white stone that I used. Again, this stone is from Desert Lux Kit because I love that stone. the whitish pale stone that I used for the rest of the garden, and also like just generally the pathways around the house. Because it's so like white and pale, I wanted to add in some kind of like color, but like I didn't want it to be like funky and kind of like like Art Deco style kind of past like colors. I wanted it to kind of blend in and be like a little subtle color, you know. And I struggled with counters because the Desert Lux barbecue, I love it by the way, it's my favorite barbecue to use, that one and like the long silver base game one. But it's hard to like match in the right swatch with the counters, because obviously it didn't come with counters, so there's nothing that matches a swatch to the T. But it was between the Island Living ones or the Snowy Escape ones I ended up using. And yeah, I think the Snowy Escape ones actually worked out well. They wasn't intended to match, but they match, you know, low key. So I was happy about it. And then I added in like a dining table, like a nice big dining table. It's a big family. It's a household of what, 8 is it? 2, 4, 6, 7, sorry. It's a household of 7, so big space to entertain themselves, as well as like if they had guests over. I can imagine the father being like a chief. He has maybe like work colleagues over for like summer grill parties or whatever, or just like maybe work related kind of meetups. He might host it at this house, so I thought that could work. And I also put a bar in the garden as well. I feel like all my houses, like if I have an entertainment space, it's probably gonna have a bar. I know Tuesday's one didn't, and that's why I got mixed up, because I normally do put a bar, but I didn't for Tuesday's speed build, but I did for this one. And again, I did use some Desert Lux items because it's one of my favorite kits. If I had to like purchase a kit, if it wasn't free I would have bought it anyway, but I was really glad that it was free, because I was like, yeah, it's got so many things that I use quite often, and I really do like that kit. Talking of kits, we are getting 2 new kits. I don't know how I feel about them. As a console player, kits are attractive in the sense that I can kind of create my own style based on like the kits that are out there. Like I don't have to like all the kits, but most of the time if there's a kit, there's a lot in it that I want, and because it's like only 20-25 items, it's quite easy to like more than to not like the items, if that makes sense. Whereas like if it's like a stuff pack or an expansion pack or a game pack, oftentimes when it comes to those packs, I like certain elements of the pack, but I don't want everything that's in it. So sometimes it's hard for me to even like want to buy one, because I'm like, I don't want all the other stuff, I just want this. Whereas kits means that I can be like, oh, I like enough of the stuff in there, and it's only 25 items that I know I'm going to use them more than I'm not going to use them, kind of thing. Again, I did use Desert Lux lounge chairs. I think I used that in yesterday's Tuesday's build as well, because I just love them. I actually love them. But yeah, so the new kits that are coming out is the bathroom clutter kit, and also the Symptomates kit, I think it's called, something like that. Yeah. I don't see the point of underwear in The Sims, because we can't, like, I don't sleep in underwear. And I get it if you're in the mood to woohoo and you want to get all saucy and cute or whatever, it's cute. And I think like for storylines it might be cute as well and whatever, but generally I know I'm not going to use it enough, so I wouldn't want to buy it, because I know I'm not going to use it enough to like justify paying for it, kind of thing. Like I'm just like, nah, I ain't going to use it enough, so it's fine. And because I'm more of a builder as well, I only buy Create a Sim if I feel like it's going to help with just generally adding clothes to my Sims that I don't already have, or things I just a bit more interested in. I think I have a lot of the Create a Sim kits. I have the carnival one, I have the streetwear one, or the Incheon airport one. I can't remember if I'm saying that right. I think I have the nightwear, not nightwear, what's it called? Like moonlight something. I have like 3 maybe 4, maybe 4 of the Craftsman kits, and then I have a few more of the build and buy kits. I know a lot of people want gameplay kits and things like that, but I don't know, like, I think generally not enough people are going to be happy about the things that happen in The Sims anyway. Like, let's be honest, it's a very big game and a lot of people play it, so you're going to have people who are happy about certain things and unhappy about other things, which is obviously fine. Like, if you're playing the game, you obviously want to enjoy it. But I think generally the kits, the idea of it is like, it's not for everyone, it's for a limited amount of people. Like, you can choose what kits you want. I think that's the premise of it. So to add gameplay maybe takes away from that, because I don't know, I could be wrong, but they tried the gameplay one with the Buster Dust, and if I'm honest, like, I didn't want Hoovers that bad to have a kit with that in it. Some people like it. I personally do like the mundane everyday task in The Sims. I love it. I love my Sims doing chores, but not enough to buy Hoovers. Like, I didn't want Hoovers. If Hoovers came with a pack, then great, that'd be fine, but I wouldn't buy a kit just with Hoovers, especially with, I don't care about the dust bunnies. I didn't want them in my game. I wasn't interested. But I think people want gameplay kits, but I think the selling point for kits is just extra content on top of the gameplay that they are supposed to add to, like, game packs or like, what do you call it, expansion packs. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a hate for kits. I don't love kits. They just are what they are. I buy what I like and I don't buy what I don't like, kind of thing. And I think that's the general premise of it. And then I've spoken about it before on this channel, but at the end of the day, it's a business. They're going to make money. They're going to do things that people won't agree with, but in their mind, they're like, this is where we're going to get money from, and it's going to work, and whatever the case may be. It's a business at the end of the day. And again, talking about kits as well, like, on console, I feel like they're very, like, helpful. But when I play on my laptop, like, I don't intend to buy any kits from my laptop at all, because I can get that stuff through custom content and I don't have to pay for it. Whereas, like, on console, you don't have that option. So it's like, do you want enough to pay for it? Most of the time, yeah. So I will pay for it. I don't have a problem with pay for it when I know there's no other option where to get it. Whereas if I'm on my laptop, I can do it that way and it's fine. But for the most part, I'm not interested in the Intimates kit. Did I just say clip? Kits. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't even know. I hope this doesn't get bloody striked or something. I don't know. It was a slip up of the words, I promise. But anyway, the underwear kit and then the bathroom clutter kit. I do agree that we should have just got a whole clutter stuff pack or a whole clutter kit. I don't really like the idea that it's broken up, because if I'm honest, I'm not going to get that bathroom kit. I was toying between the idea, but just not enough in there that excites me enough. And if we're going to get functional light switches, I would hope that would come in a base game update anyway, and then the kit just has a swatch of a light, whereas we would get another light swatch in base game that would come with, like, functionality kind of thing. So yeah, again, I'm not in a rush for those 2 kits. And often what happens is, if I'm not feeling a certain kit or whatever the case may be, often what happens is I'll watch a simmer use the kit or, like, review the kit, and then I'm like, oh, actually I do like those items. So we'll see if I change my mind, but I don't think I will, because my Sims don't wear underwear like that, and especially because you can't layer things in the Sims, so I can't have a top where you can see, like, the lace of maybe they're wearing a little bodice underneath, and then you've got the like, because I can't do these kind of things, it doesn't make sense. Whereas when I'm on my laptop and I've got CC, I can have things that work as accessories, so you can have underwear on with a top and you can see some of the detail from the underwear. Like, it just makes more sense that way. But again, it's different for different people. Some people prefer that, some people don't. But personally for me, I could do without it. I could really do without it. And yeah, the bathroom kit, I don't think I need it or want it, but we'll see. I will see. I am a builder, but when I was looking at the kit, I was just thinking, when it comes to kits, because not everyone wants them or has them, it makes it hard to use it in builds, because that's one of the things that will be just, like, cancelled out if you don't have the kit, which to some point, because it's just clutter, it's okay, because if I'm using, like, the towel that comes in that bath clutter kit, then I don't think you're gonna have a problem just replacing it with a base game towel or towels that you already have from other packs you have. So I think that's fine. But, like, I don't know, like, the everyday clutter kit for me, I feel like is a bit more central, because it's literally everyday things that makes your Sims home look a bit more alive and a bit more interested. Those things makes more sense than a bathroom kit. I do, however, like the fact that there is a towel a rug for the toilet. I don't know how hygienic it is, but I don't know what it is, but I like the look of it in The Sims. Would I have it in real life? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I would. But then again, I wear slippers anyway, like throughout the house, so I don't have to worry about like my feet being cold and like some cold tiles kind of thing. And The Sims obviously don't care. So yeah, I wonder. But that's besides the point. And also, the infant update coming soon. I'm gonna watch the stream and see what happens during that stream. I'm assuming with that stream they're gonna show off infants, they're gonna show off more about the expansion pack and anything else that they've been working on that's coming to the game. I was very confused as to why people thought we was getting infants just randomly on a Tuesday. Like, when they sent that laundry list out, I assumed that when whoever leaked the date that there's an update on the 17th, I just assumed that was going to be the bugs and the patch kind of like for the upcoming content, because don't they have to patch in information for like the games that's coming and things that's coming? I don't know. I'm not a game developer, I don't know. But I didn't think we was going to get infants on Tuesday. I wasn't expecting it. I'd have been very surprised if we did. But considering it said it's a big base game update, I'm assuming they want to show off in the stream. And then when the stream ends, that's when the update goes live and then we can update our games. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen, because I swear they've done that before. Didn't they do that with high school years with the body hair and stuff? I can't remember. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting to happen anyway. So we're probably going to get them at the end of the year. I mean, the end of the year. The end of the month. If we get them sooner, I won't be mad, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, so people just getting angry at The Sims. I was very confused as to like the anger, because no one said they were coming today, like, so, or on Tuesday. So yeah, it was a bit crazy. Like, I think there's sometimes I forget about the different age groups that are in the Sims community, because like my approach to certain things is like, why is that taking energy that doesn't need to be used, kind of thing. But there's so many different people that play this game. There's so many different age groups, so many different temperaments, people generally. So I don't know, each of their own, I guess. But yeah, I very rarely like cuss out or like share my like anger or frustration with certain companies or things like that online, unless I've like sent an email, chased them up and I've been ignored. I know if you go on social media, they're gonna hear you and they're gonna make some kind of effort to reach out and be like, oh, we're sorry about this, kind of thing. But for the most part, I'm like, I'll send an email or I'll chase you up or whatever the case may be. But maybe that's just a millennial thing. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah. So when it comes to decorating the house, I decorated the living room is like open planish. Then we have the kitchen slightly open plan, and then we have the dining area, which I've like sectioned off. I kind of went for like a red theme, or like not a red theme, but like red accents, because I felt like the dining room was just gonna be a bit basic or a bit like simple. So yeah, I switched up a little bit. I originally had the office where I changed over to the toddler room. For some reason, when I was like decorating and stuff like that, I furnished the office and whatever. And then I came, like, when I told you I came back to this build so many times, I don't know if you can tell, because I did cut out certain aspects of it. So like when I had to put BB move objects back on, like I came back to this build so many times. I think that I finished the kitchen a separate time to the living room, a separate time to the office, like the exterior, the garden. I came back so many times this build. It was so long to get through, hence why it's such a long speed build. I thought Tuesday's one was a long one, but this one is a big ass long speed build. But I guess there's a lot of rooms. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I ended up having the office switch around and have the toddler's room be where originally the office was, because I kind of felt like the office doesn't need to be a huge room, and also the toddler, why would the toddler get such a small little room? So I decided to like change it around a bit. Also, I can't remember what other reason I changed it around. There was another reason I changed it around, but I couldn't remember why. But yeah, I changed it around. So the office space is very like simple. I didn't put loads in it. I kind of just like put in some references to the fact that they work in the detective career. So I had like files, and I had like little trophies and stuff, and like rewards, and I had the little picture that comes with, I think it comes with Get to Work, of like the two officers, and I think some like plaques that have like article clippings or something like that from it as well, like just little things on the wall to kind of like hint they work in an office, they are in the detective career. And like files, and not files, like storage units, things, file drawers. Why can't I remember what they're called? Just drawers with the files and information in it. One day I want to do like redo the detective like work space, the Like with Get to Work, you can have an active role and you can go to the workspace for the detective role. And I guess it would like be a police office essentially. I wanna do one, but I often like I'm put off by big builds, especially like community builds, because I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna be a task. But I think it'll be something I just work on, and as opposed to like film, because I can just tell you now it's gonna be all over the place. So I'll see. I might try it. We'll see. And then I do show you only one bathroom, yeah, because I end up furnishing like all the other bathrooms off of camera, and also the laundry room. I think I show you, yeah. So this house does have a laundry room as well, and then it has a separate like half bathroom. I was gonna say separate ensuite, but that's not what the case is. The master bedroom is on the ground floor as well. What was I gonna say? The last floor, the ground floor, and then they have their own ensuite as well. And then I think maybe I wanted the toddler's room to be slightly closer to the master bedroom, even though it's literally the other side of the house. But just, I don't know, kind of close, but not too close. Because if you have like parenthood, like not parenthood, I don't think it's yeah, it is parenthood. But then again, the child's a toddler, they're not a baby. Because for some reason with parenthood, when you have a baby, like your sim will wake up when they cry. Whereas when you don't have parenthood, your sim will sleep through the baby crying, like the like object baby crying. And I don't think I noticed that difference, and I was like, is it actually parenthood that makes your sim get up? And is it because like, oh, they're developing their parenthood skill or their parenting skill that now they're gonna be like react when there's a baby crying? I don't know. I just thought it was funny the fact that my sims will like dead ass sleep through a baby crying. I have to physically wake him up, whereas I swear it's because of parenthood. Your sim will wake up and be like, oh, there's a baby crying. Kind of thing. But I just thought it was interesting. But yeah. And then when it goes to us decorating the upstairs, I end up having the teens bedroom, which I go with like a dark purple black theme. And then I have the parents room, like the grandparents room, and that's like black and white. I wanted it to feel kind of sophisticated, kind of like minimal and simple. And I kind of felt like that maybe that's the mom's personality as opposed to the husband. He just will like do whatever you want with the bedroom. I just come in to sleep. And I end up putting a typewriter in there as well, so the mum can do some writing, just separate from the rest of the house. And also the office is mainly for like the dad and also the daughter's husband, like if they have any work to do. So they kind of share the office, but like I said, because the grandfather is kind of looking to retire soon, I kind of felt like it made sense so that office was just like used for their daughter's husband, as opposed to like they both, like the granddad and the husband share an office, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really struggled with furnishing the master bedroom because I just didn't know what to put in it. Like, it's so hard to furnish like adult bedrooms because I just don't know what to put in them. Like, even though I'm an adult, I don't feel like I have anything in my room that's like, wow, amazing. But if I was to have my room and design my own room, I don't know what I'd really want in there. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should design my like perfect bedroom or something. I don't know. I've done my kind of like dream home before. I'll leave that in the cards. And it was like a little home in the in Brindleton Bay, which lush. That world is so pretty. I just wish it didn't rain all the time. That's all. But yeah, my little dream world, my little dream life would be in Brindleton Bay. And if you have a world in The Sims where you would like love to live, if that was your dream life and you could live in one of the Sims worlds, what world would it be? Because I think mine would either be Solani or Bridgerton Bay. For sure. I do like the look of Tartosa, I won't lie, but then I feel like that's kind of like familiar-ish because it's kind of like, it almost feels like a bit of like a European holiday or a bit of like a little holiday away in Spain or something like that. And so it kind of feels familiar, even though, have I even been to Spain? No. But it just feels familiar. I don't know why, but it does. I think the furthest I've probably been is Chicago, but I was like 1 year old, so I have no idea. I have no recollection of what that holiday was like. My second would be Turkey. That was like the longest I've been on a flight, and that's about it. Amsterdam was like 45 minutes, so does that really count as a journey? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely going to travel more in the future. But now I say now I'm working. I haven't even started my first day yet, but since I'll be starting work, I will be doing some more staycations for myself. I have missed being able to just like book a train ticket somewhere and like a little hotel for a few days and just chill. So I'm looking forward to getting some like holiday dates booked so I can do some more little staycations, little vacations by myself, little exploring around the UK, because I kind of missed it. And I need some me time. So I'm looking forward to just having the funds to be able to fund the life I want, basically. And yeah, very much want to move out ASAP. But I don't see that happening that soon. Not as soon as I want it to be, unfortunately. But it is what it is. The what do you call it? Like, the market at the moment is terrible. I don't plan on buying because I don't know if I want to stay in London or even the UK forever. So I don't see the point in buying. And yeah, I just feel like that's too permanent. Whereas I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, let alone in the next couple of years. So I don't want to buy. But I definitely want to see a bit more of the world, see a bit more of the country generally. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't want to get my hopes up too much because I haven't started the job yet. So what if I don't like it and I'm making all these plans? So let me get through my first week, and then I'll tell you guys if anything changes. If I'm like, this is terrible, I'm not staying, kind of thing. I'll give myself a year. What happened in my last job was, I remember speaking to my therapist about this, and she was like, did you have in mind how long you wanted to stay in a job for? And I was like, oh yeah, I said 3 years. And she was like, oh, how long have you been in this job? I was like, yeah, it's been 3 years. And she was like, no, I think my limit was 2 years. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 years. But by the time I was speaking to my therapist at the time, it had been over that time that I had said in my head that I'd be at that job. And she was like, yeah, do you think maybe that's why you're feeling the way you're feeling? And I was like, oh, you smart, okay? You smart. This is why you got this job. Because I was like, oh yeah, I did tell myself I'd only be here for a certain amount of time, and I'm over that time, and I was getting super anxious, and I was feeling really hopeless and really worried and stressed and angry and frustrated and sad. It was a lot of emotions. But yeah, it did explain why I woke up every morning and wanted to cry and wanted to call in sick. So yeah, it explains a lot, really. With the spare room, I decided to go with a Murphy bed because I kind of felt like they would want that spare room to kind of feel very put together. So I decided to use the Murphy bed and like have it just like it's up most of the time. So the room feels very empty because it is meant to be like a spare room, a guest room almost. And then obviously the brother is staying there, but I don't know how much of a welcomed guest he is at the moment, but he's staying there. He's staying there. So I put a little guitar in the corner. I put some like clutter on the like dressing table almost, or like the dresser. Just so like he's making himself at home, but he also knows that this place is very put together. Everything's got its place. I think the screenshots will be coming up real soon. Not that soon, but real soon. And I'm just going to be finishing the rest of the bedrooms, and you'll see them all come together. But thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you do want this build, it is up on the gallery. It is called the Large Green Craftsman. It's pretty expensive. It is a 5-bedroom 4-bed. And did I say the lot size? It's a 40 by 30. And it is in Newcrest on the Optimist Outlook. Is it? Yeah, the Optimist Outlook lot. That's where it goes. But yeah, my gallery ID is Saabythesimmer. If you've enjoyed this build in this speed build, please do leave a like. I'd really, really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you come back, because if you're enjoying it, you should definitely subscribe. And yeah, leave a comment as well. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any ideas, any suggestions for things that you want to see me build on this channel, or things that you want to see me do on this channel. Do let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next video, which will be on Tuesday. I am back on stream this week. I'm a little bit nervous. Don't ask me why, but I am a little bit nervous to get back into streaming. I'm back on Twitch this week as well, so you can catch me on Twitch tonight at 7:30. And I'll be playing The Sims. I don't know what I'll be doing in The Sims just yet, but I will be in The Sims. And then on Friday, I will be doing It Takes Two with my sister. So come and join us on Twitch. If you miss it, don't worry. I put some of the streams on here on YouTube. I'll leave the link for that playlist in the description, sorry. And then also I do have the playbacks on Twitch as well, so you can watch them back over on Twitch. But yeah, guys, have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye. Wow.